Oh, hey there, Oz.
Hey, Curtis.
Hey, what movie are we watching this week?
This week we've got a movie marriage. Well, we've got a marriage of Dostoevsky's The Idiot
Okay.
meets Forrest Gump
Okay.
meets Dumb and Dumber
Sure.
with a little bit of Evel Knievel.
There you go.
This week we're talking Steve Martin's The Jerk.
Wasn't expecting a
Dostoevsky.
him. You know, like whenever I try to say that name, I always feel like I'm accidentally turning it into into a word that we wouldn't use.
Yeah.
that ends in bag on this show. Yes, so,
I get you. Colostomy.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It somehow comes out colostomy bag.
Right. So, welcome back, listeners and viewers, to another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, the podcast would take a monthly theme. This month being insulting titles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of your hosts, Oz.
I am the other host, Curtis.
And we first want to give a shout out to our Patreon subscribers. These people are not jerks in any way, shape, or form.
Six jerks.
That's right. Don S., Aaron A., Mandy K., Melissa L., Colin K., and Lyle M. Thank you guys for your patronage.
Yes, we appreciate it.
Steve Martin's The Jerk.
This is one of those movies for you that just it's the healing balm to you.
It is. Honestly, this is probably a top fiver.
Yeah.
I don't sit down and rank my movies ever. I just people ask, kids at school, well, what is your favorite movie? I don't know, but I could tell you what like bouquet of movies I would enjoy receiving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this one, Flash Gordon, Clue. You know, it's never. Most people are, it's Star Wars or no. It's, and I love those movies. Don't get me wrong, but.
Fast and Furious 9.
Exactly. You know, but for me, it is like, it is these, you know, just, I don't know. And they really don't. Well, they do. They all have something in common, like Clue, Flash Gordon, you know, The Jerk. Just,
well, there's a silliness about
there's silly.
In their
That's
own
a
way.
perfect word for it. Silly. I won't call it slapstick, but it's in that vein of just, like you said, just silly, goofy, nothing serious at all about these movies, and just a bunch of people looking like they're having a great time making the film.
Oh, this movie especially.
Oh yeah, they were balling out on this one.
I was reading the trivia, I think there was a gas shortage, and so Steve Martin and Carl Reiner would they would carpool to set every day.
Mm-hmm.
And just while they were driving, they would come up with a joke or two that would make it in for that day.
Yeah, I also read like in the Wikipedia, you know, comments or whatever, or not comments, but you know, just that they set a goal to make sure there was just one hilarious joke per page of the script, and it's there. Like
it's worked.
Some of them lesser than others,
Sure.
but by and large, you could tell there was a dedication to the goal of, let's be funny every minute and a half.
Yeah. And it works.
Yes, it works. Yeah. It works for sure. So I don't know what it is about that. Like, because really when you think about it, like it's that like late 70s into mid 80s era of, you know, it's just something about them. They're just so silly and goofy. Yeah. Like even like Richard Pryor's The Toy. I wouldn't put it top 5, but it's one of those that it's just, are there warts and pimples? Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. But there's just, there's this charm to it.
Yeah.
There's this sweetness to it. There's a message to it.
Yeah. A warmth. Yeah.
And it's just so much fun to watch. So yeah, The Jerk is definitely one of my tops, which means no one of my else has really seen it with me. It's like my although Jenny did, because I told her what, you know, I need to finish The Jerk, and she goes, is that the Steve Martin one where he was like living with the black family? I'm like, yep, that's the one. She goes, and there's like a phone book or something. I'm like, yep, that's the one.
And there's a phone book or something. Yes.
And there's a phone book or something. So
how did you get introduced to this movie? Like what is your origin story with this?
I venture to say, I don't remember, I don't recall 100%.
Sure.
But I would venture, it was in college, um, more than likely after you had left,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember this was one that Brad, that I used to work with,
Mm-hmm.
he and I would quote this all
Hmm.
the time. And
Yeah.
that was my first teaching gig. So it had to have been somewhere in there. I don't think it was high school.
Okay.
I really
So
don't think it was high school.
that's interesting. So it wasn't one that you like sort of grew up with, like a lot of the
No.
movies that we really celebrate in
Yeah.
here
Oh,
were
yeah,
movies that
absolutely. No, this
one of,
was,
yeah, if not both of us, grew up with.
yeah, this was one I think, because I, even in the early days of the internet where we were still dialing it up at Western,
Mm-hmm.
I would spend a lot of time just researching movies, like always looking to find more to watch. Like
Mm-hmm.
what, I've never really been one that, has a stable of a dozen movies and just watches them on repeat.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to explore and find something new. And I think this was just a, hey, there's Steve Martin's first movie, and then it just clicked. And I love those little things where it's like when you just kind of discover one,
Yeah.
and I got a few of those stories. I don't remember the discovery of the jerk, but like I do remember the discovery of Martin Scorsese's After Hours.
Mm.
Um, that was one that I was working late at Pizza Hut in high school, and I came home and I wasn't tired, and that movie had just started, and it was like I'm just going to zone out, and the movie just captivated me.
Yeah.
It was just an excellent movie I'd never heard of, and I liked that moment.
Yeah. I think.
And
Yeah.
Donnie Darko, another one. Like
Sure.
I was
Yeah.
it was like a college girlfriend. It was back when like DVDs had like the trailers before the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was one of those trailers, and I'm like, I need to watch this movie. And then I remember calling you and be like, you need to watch this movie.
Yeah.
um, I love those little nuggets of remembering when I found something.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a similar experience, I think, with An American Werewolf in London. I remember
Mm,
the first time I watched that. Again, I was probably late teens, early 20s or so by that point. So again, definitely not one I grew up with. And just, I remember the feeling I
yeah.
had as I watched it, and just how funny it was and how witty it was and how charming it was, and just how the last 10 seconds of that movie just punch you in the
Oh
gut.
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
in movies, it's scary. Like,
yeah.
whatever your definition of scary is, there's jump scares, but there's also gruesome special effect. I mean, so
Yeah.
like it scratches all these itches, but it's John Landis being funny on top of
Yeah.
all of it. Yeah, for sure. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's I just don't recall how the jerk come across my radar, but
Sure.
I remember my younger brother Aaron being old enough that I remember sharing it with him.
Okay.
He was kind of my my lightning rod
Yeah.
of, I would bounce things off him, and if it stuck, then it was like, oh cool, like I just
Hmm.
didn't really have that. And so that was fun because he's 13 years my junior. And
Yeah.
so, but yeah, this is one it's never like just on TV, so you don't just stumble across it like you would
Yeah.
a Shawshank Redemption or something. But
Yeah,
I
just
need
turn
to,
on TBS and there's Shawshank Redemption.
yeah, at any given time. So I need to add this to my rotation of whatever a rotation looks like.
Sure.
I don't. Well, for me, like I log into Plex and I hit shuffle.
Yeah.
That's my rotation. So
It's not in your 5-disc DVD changer
it's not. No,
for
it's
Panasonic.
exactly. I don't have it in my surround sound home studio.
Yeah.
So
Your Pioneer, like the stack. You remember the CD stack?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. Oh, those were the days. Physical
Yeah.
media.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, this is a big one for me. I love this.
Sure.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this movie. Not that it matters. This movie came out like 3 days before my birthday, like a week before yours. Not that
Yeah.
that matters, but yeah, it's just a feel good film for me.
It is. Yeah. All right. Well, I will get into the cast. Since
Yeah, please
since it's
do.
your movie to share the plot with and celebrate, I will share the cast.
Please do.
Yes, we have Steve Martin as Navin R. Johnson. I'll let you tell his story, but unique. I think unique is a good word there. family dynamic,
Right.
and a man searching for purpose. I think is kind of how I framed Navin.
Special purpose, even.
Yes, yeah, he's looking for a special purpose.
Only to find out he's had it the whole time.
Uh-huh. Also, Steve Martin has the bit as the cat juggler
Yeah,
as well.
Pig Eye Jackson.
Pig Eye Jackson. We've got Bernadette Peters. She was amazing in this too.
She's so great in this movie.
Yes, she is. This movie wouldn't work without
Mm-mm.
a sort of a, I don't know if a foil is the right word, but a compliment.
Yeah,
to
she's
Steve Martin.
definitely an accomplice, but more of admiration than it is, sidekickery.
Exactly. She plays Marie, the love that Navin comes across. Also has some quirks to her character as well, but
Few.
yeah. Speaking of quirks, we got Caitlin Adams as Patty Bernstein. There's your Evil Knievel.
Exactly. Patty Bernstein, a name that doesn't sound like a carnival stunt woman.
No, that is not the name I would associate with
the amazing Patty
chaps.
Bernstein. Yeah.
We've got Mabel King as mother, Richard Ward as father. I'm not going to go through the entire list here, but Bill Macy is Stan Fox. No, not that Bill Macy. This Bill Macy. Emmett Walsh as quote unquote Madman.
Yeah. Also, kind of pulling a double role, more a career arc for him.
Yeah. There's some other. Is there any other characters you think that are worth mentioning?
We've got. I would mention Harry Hartunian.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Jackie Mason is Harry. Small role, but also kind of provides Navin with a soft landing and
a little for sure. Yes. Other than that, not really. I mean, you do get Carl Reiner and Carl Gottlieb, and Carl Reiner being the director and Gottlieb being the part of the story and screenplay. Yeah. As they've got roles, but other than that, no, that's about it. Everybody else is just a blip. A la Forrest Gump in My Movie Marriage. There's a lot of people that help point the way.
Yeah, who are just kind of in and out, and part of Navin's journey.
Right.
All right. Well, speaking of Navin's journey, Oz, how do we start off The Jerk?
Well, we start The Jerk, and I've never really liked the title of the movie because, in contemporary language, Navin Johnson's not a jerk.
No.
He's more of an idiot. He's just more of a simpleton. But he's the jerk. So
he refers to himself as a jerk.
He does. But Navin Johnson, we meet him as a homeless person sleeping on just an alley in Los Angeles, surrounded by a few other homeless people, and he's just there with his thermos, and he's we are the cameraman. We are hey, you looking for me? Like, I'm just a jerk. Hit cue title. And so we get pretty much the whole movie is flashback of his story.
Yeah, we start at the end.
Yes, I almost added Usual Suspects to My Movie Marriage because that movie is just Kimball telling the story. But anyway, so Navin Johnson is, well, let me tell you about where I am, and he starts at a very, I guess at Forrest's time, a very standard Steve Martin stand-up joke. I was born a poor black child, which it's again charming and funny because it's Steve Martin and he's everything but.
Well, and it makes it obvious. There's as this movie ages, there is a part later on that is a little uncomfortable. And I'm sure we'll get to that. But and again, you and I are not equipped to dive into parts of this as to the intersection of race and art and comedy and how all those things come together. He's so innocent and naive and sweet that dare I say, I think it works at the beginning.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I think, and I don't know, because again, the ill-equipped, but I what I was going to say is, I think the sensitivities of that time, I won't say were less, but I will say they weren't as long-winded, perhaps. Like today, it's like, you said what? And then it's, you know, I think there was a little bit more of an ability to laugh at oneself at times, you know, sure. and especially situations like this, where this is not a racial comment other than just, that's a joke. So I was born a poor black child. Cut to Mississippi.
Yeah.
Like here we are on this
deep South Mississippi.
Deep South, like sharecropper Mississippi, you know, your stereotypical black family that spends their evenings on the front porch and, you know, just that's all they have is each other.
Yeah. And they love each other and they celebrate each other.
Very much. Yep. Yeah. They are all together all the time. They work together. And Navin's part of the family, and he's treated as part of the family.
Yes, he is.
So for him, it's, I was raised poor black child, and it's his birthday. Okay. So everybody comes and they you know, all the family is there and they celebrate his birthday. Grandma lives there, and there's the little kids, and there's Taj, and they all give him gifts. You know, Taj gives him a partially, you know, used up bottle of alcohol. Like you can tell he's already been into it. And Dad gives him a Zippo, and, well, you got this from the war. Like, it's a very touching, sweet moment.
It is.
And then this is where, you know, but everybody's eating dinner, but he gets his favorite dinner. You know, it's, I can't remember what the main course was, but it was with a tab and a couple of Twinkies. Like
it was, I took it down. It's tuna fish salad on white bread with mayo, a tab, and 2 Twinkies.
About as white a meal as one could have. Like that's the joke.
With this black family in deep South.
Yeah, that's the joke. Yeah. But you know what? They do it, and they love him, and so he, you know, does his best Tiny Tim. God blesses everyone. And like, cause he's very just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I don't deserve all this. Well, Mom comes in and breaks it to him that it's time, you know, like she's trying to pacify him. Dad's like, you got to tell him. So, well, Maven, you're not our natural born child. You know, you were dropped on our doorstep. We raised you, into which he is shocked by that.
He's genuinely just beside himself.
Yeah, you mean I'm going to stay this color? Like he was, like he was waiting for the day where he would look like the rest of them.
Yeah,
like he felt
he was
like
really looking forward to it.
Yeah, he felt like he was the outcast because I don't look like the rest of my family. They all loved him regardless.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to dance. He can't dance a lick. Like
he cannot.
They're just, and that's what one of the things I love about this movie is just the layers of the humor. Yeah. They aren't exposing, like they aren't explaining all of the jokes to you, but they're singing their blues or whatever. And he just cannot snap to the beat.
He
can't do it.
He can't keep a beat. He can't keep rhythm.
Which, of course, we know you're not a Mississippi black sharecropper. Like you just, and it's just those little things. Well, of course you can't keep a beat. You're not like them.
Yeah. And and the joke is at his expense. You know,
of course. Yeah, they're not making fun of them. They're making fun of him. And so, but late that night, he's listening to the radio, and it's late at night, and they pick up basically like a how would you classify that style of music?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're taking. What I took down in my notes was simple, white, easy jazz.
It's
on the radio,
like low scale big band in a way.
Yeah,
you know. But there's a beat, and next thing he knows, he's tapping his feet to the beat. Yeah. He could snap to the beat. Oh, he's so excited.
He is. And, he's finally able to keep tempo.
Yeah, and he breaks it to his family that like I've got to go find this music. Like this music speaks to me. I love the choice of focusing on Mom and Dad as he's dancing back and forth out of focus in front of them.
Yeah,
across they weren't following him. They're locked in on Mom and Dad's faces of like, you know, because again they are just caring for this person.
Yeah, when
they know he's different, but they don't care.
Yeah, they love him, and he loves them.
Exactly, and that's what I just the sweetness of this movie.
And he even says like, "I've got to go out there and be somebody."
Yes, exactly, and they go for it.
Yeah, they support him.
Yeah, so I got to go to St. Louis, and that just joke after joke after joke of he just goes and stands literally out front just trying to hitchhike.
Yeah, he's just standing by their mailbox.
Right.
He doesn't walk to town or anything.
No, he's just, and it's like cut to night and he's gone and they've got his table set and like put his table set up. It's too depressing. I hope he's doing okay. To which like the sister just yells out the window, "Hey, David, you doing all right?" Because he's just right up front.
He's still standing there just waiting for a car to pick him up.
Truck pulls up and he's like, "Where are you going?" "St. Louis." "Where are you going?" "About the end of this fence." "Okay." Like hops in.
And he's happy for the ride.
And he's trying to maintain a conversation. He's like, "So where are you from?" "Well, here we are." And, "Okay, thank you."
50 feet later.
Exactly.
Still in earshot of the family.
Yeah. And so he hitches his way towards St. Louis. He stops at a motel to stay the night. And a dog is barking. Mm-hmm. And so he's being Naven. He's a thoughtful person. He's listening to the dog bark and he's trying to guess what the dog is saying. And he just got fire. Dog barks the same way he's barked all along. So you're a hero, dog. Like, yep. So he alerts the entire hotel that the building's on fire. Of course, the building's not on fire.
No.
He wants to call the dog Hero, to which a man of Asian descent tells him that dog's no hero. That dog's an S-head. You shouldn't call that dog Hero. You should call him S-head. So he does. He names the dog Poophead.
Yes, yeah, that's what I took down in my notes as well. Was poop in brackets. Head.
Yes, he calls the dog Poophead for the remainder of the film. So Naven is still just out on his way. Like it's his adventure, and he comes across a gas station because he's got to use the bathroom.
Yeah,
got to use the bathroom, and it's Jackie Mason is the is the gas station owner.
Yeah,
Harry Hartunian. And he's like, you can't use the bathroom. It's for customers only. Well, I need gas for my Zippo. Of course. Oh, well, don't let me, it's a big day for me. Mm-hmm. And it turns out Naven gets a job at the gas station. Harry's looking for some help because he's the only one working all the time. So he brings him on, actually lets him like rent a room, like the storage room. Like you can stay there and work. And of course, when he's going through the bathroom to the storage room, Naven thinks he's going to let him rent the bathroom. So he's like feng shuiing his way around. We can knock this wall down over here, and I put the books over there, and
kitchenette over here.
And then he's like, "No, not here, back here." And I just love it because Naven's like, probably couldn't afford this place anyway. Like he's just like, oh, it's too good to be true.
He's so just like, oh, like golly shucks.
Yeah, I love it. So he's working, we get some gags where, it's his first day left alone. Mm-hmm. A group of Hispanics pull up in their hydraulic, car. Mm-hmm. They need some gas. They've got a stolen credit card. Naven realizes it's a stolen credit card way too late.
Yeah.
Tries to get cute. He calls the police. He's like, just come. I'll keep him here. Don't you worry. Convinces them they've won a free oven mitt. Like, while he and that's just that smooth Steve Martin charm. Like, he takes a chain and hooks their back bumper to the church next door. And then these guys are like, we're not sticking around for an oven mitt. Like, he gives them all the cash. Like, so I'll just put on the card. It's all right. And then as they pull away, they're pulling this church behind them.
Part of the church,
Yeah, he gets excited that when the phone book shows up, it's a very popular scene from this movie. When the phone book shows up and he finds his name in the phone book. So he's excited to have this job. Well,
he's someone. He's in the phone book.
Exactly. We get a customer that shows up, Stan Fox. He's an inventor who just kind of reminds me of like Rand Peltzer from Gremlins, a guy who he's an inventor, but nothing really works.
Yeah.
Well, he's having a hard time keeping his glasses on his face. He just keeps sliding down his nose. And David is like, I could fix those for you. And he goes and he solders a piece of metal.
Yeah, just a little bracket on there. Yeah.
And he's like, well, that puts all the weight on the bridge of the nose and not on the earpieces. So, and it works. Mm-hmm. And Stan Fox is like, hey, if this ever takes off, I'll cut you in 50-50.
It's actually really smart.
Yeah. And it's like, off he goes, and it's like, okay, well, that's foreshadowing. You know, that's coming back.
Of course.
So we get the phone book little scene cut to, I'm finally I'm finally a somebody. Like, I have an address of my own.
Things are going to start happening to me now.
Cut to Emmett Walsh as he's basically Billy Madison, Steve Buscemi. He just picks a random name out of the phone book, and I'm going to murder this person.
Yeah.
This movie has a lot of dark pieces to it.
It does. They're very fleeting.
Yeah, extremely fleeting, but they go heavy.
Yes.
So, Emmett Walsh, who doesn't really have much of a name, he shows up and he's on a hill across the way. He's got his rifle, and he's just starts shooting at Naven, who's not ever really standing still much.
No, and he's always moving around. I mean, because that's Naven. Naven's not one to stand still. Yeah.
And so, first couple shots miss and they hit. Again, a very popular scene from the movie.
Yeah.
They hit these oil cans, and of course Naven, something's wrong with these cans. These cans are defective.
I don't know what it is. I love the canned sound, the sound bite of the oil.
Just that popping of the can, and then so he's like, these cans are defective. He runs, and then he's not sure what's up. He runs over by like the pop machine, and he's shooting that up, so that's starting to explode. He runs over by a window, not sure what's up.
There's cans in here too.
Right. There's cans everywhere. So this scene with the gunman is really just to get Naven out of the gas station.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, I got to get out of here. I'm going to protect you. He's after me, so cover me. I'm going to run. So he gets in a car and drives off. Car has no wheels.
Yeah, it's just driving on the rims.
Yeah, it's just driving on the rims of the car as Emmett Walsh's character is chasing him in a car. Naven's ahead of him and pulls into an opening through a fence where it says carnival personnel only. So he just pulls in and runs off to hide. Emmett Walsh, who suddenly obeys the rules.
Yeah,
I love this part. He pulls up and sees the sign. He's carnival personnel only. And he's like so mad that he can't go in after him.
I can't go in.
Gets out of the car and starts pointing.
Personnel.
Oh, he starts yelling. He's not carnival personnel. Like he's like tattling on him. Get him out of there.
Now is when you want to reapply the rules.
Yeah. So Naven now finds himself part of a traveling carnival. He's hired on as a weight guesser.
Big Top Pee-wee is another one that kind of comes to mind for this.
Exactly. That'd be a good one. So he's set up where it's I can guess your weight, guess your age, like all these things, and he's terrible at it.
Oh, of course he is.
Fun little scene where a guy's like, well, okay, what do I win? And he's just like, anything on this wall, just south of the stereo and just to the right of the commemorative glasses, anything in this 3-inch area.
Anything right here,
but not, including the chiclets, but not the erasers. Like, so they walk off, and he's like, he tells his boss, I'm so terrible at this. The boss is like, what does it matter? He's like, well, I've given away blankety blank blank. And he's like, and I've only brought in $15. He's like, you brought in $15. You've given away 50 cents. Like,
yeah,
it's fine. It's all profit. And then Naven's like, oh, it's a profit game. Oh, that changes everything. He's like, come, let me guess your weight and win some crap. Like he's all excited for it. And he meets the next day. Well, he watches Patty Bernstein, she's a daredevil motorcyclist, but really her gig is, I'm going to drive my motorcycle about 200 feet and then just go through a burning, just a burning fire loop or whatever. Nothing too crazy. It's just, she's not even like jumping over anything. She's just driving through fire.
Just rams into it, really.
Yeah. The next day she rides up on her motorcycle, and he's eating a corn dog, and she's a very provocative woman. And
that's one way to put it.
And he's the next one on the radar. So she takes his innocence from him.
She's very forward.
Well, yeah, he tries to put the brakes on, and when she's exploring, and he's like, what are you doing to my special purpose? My mom said that that's my special purpose. And she's like, well, today's the day. Like, Today's the day you're going to find out.
Hey, this is like a ride.
As the Winnebago is just rocking back and forth. Yeah. And so they are basically inseparable, mainly because he's enjoying what she's offered, and she is a very controlling person.
Well, yeah, she even belongs to her.
Yeah. We're married now. They're not married.
No.
But she does have his last name tattooed on her butt under the J's. So that's kind of their thing. She's a very violent woman as well.
Yes,
very controlling. Naven gets moved to the miniature railway. So this is where he meets Marie. She is babysitting a boy, and he's kind of gets on the train and takes off with it. Well, she's kind of flirting with Naven. Naven asks her if she'd like to go on a date. So the next day he shows up, waiting by the roundup with flowers, and Patty shows up and like basically beats him up for even thinking about another woman.
Yeah.
The one thing, it's consistent but also somewhat inconsistent is, Naven, when he finally meets up with Marie and she's like, what? He's like, what happened? He's like, well, I got run into by a gang of flower thieves. They stole the heads off these flowers. Well, what kind of flowers were they? It was a couple dozen roses. And she goes, well, those look like daisy stems. What? I got ripped off? They put daisy stems on my roses? Like, just, it's like this odd combination of complete stupidity, but also like he's pretty slick and smooth too. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah, he can be when properly motivated.
And so there's a few of those that was like, almost felt like a little bit much for his character. Like,
sure,
are you really smart enough to figure that out? But whatever, it's funny. So they go on a date in the back of a semi truck where he's provided pizza in a cup. This pizza in a cup is way better than the old cup of pizza guy. Like people come from all over for this stuff. Patty shows up again, and she's basically, angry at Naven, mm-hmm. and beats him up again, and Marie belts her.
Yeah, she does.
And so now Patty's out of the picture, and we get a extremely sweet beach scene, where Naven and Marie are singing You Belong to Me, mm-hmm.
With
ukulele and trumpet solo.
Because she has a trumpet she brings with her.
Yeah. And so and I'm skipping over so many lines, like when they're in the back of the semi trailer, and he's just like, so do you have a boyfriend? Maybe. Well, next time you make love, could you think of me? She's like, well, maybe sometime we can make love and you can think of him. And she goes, or maybe you two could make love and you can think of me. And he's like, as long as I'm in there somewhere. Like,
yeah. He's just happy to be part of it.
He's just happy to be around her. And so they're on the beach, and she reveals that, she really likes him. He'd like, mm-hmm. to kiss her, but I can't because my mom has raised me, basically I need to find someone successful with a job and with a special purpose, which David's like, I've got a special purpose. Yeah. We could be together. It's not the special purpose that, that she had thought of. He decides he's going to ask her to marry him. Mm-hmm. In this was probably my favorite scene. I use this more than I should but nobody understands what I'm talking about, where he tells her she looks so peaceful that you look dead. It's the way she's lit in bed. As he's telling her, like, I know, I don't have it memorized, but I know we've only been together for like 4 weeks and 5 days, but it's felt like 9 weeks and 4 days. And and he just goes through this whole scene of breaking down. Like the first day felt like 4 days, and the next day felt like a day and a half. And then there's that day you went to your mom's. That just felt like a day.
That just felt like a regular day.
And I'm like every time I watch this, I'm like, how on earth is Bernadette Peters keeping her straight face?
Yeah.
Like, how is she doing it? Because he's just going and going.
And you wonder how much of that is just him just
ad-libbing. Yeah, just go, because it's so funny. He's going to ask her to marry him. Mm-hmm. He's taking a bath, and he wrote a song for her. I wrote a song for you today. I'm picking out a thermos for you. No ordinary thermos will do. As she's leaving him, she's writing him a letter.
Teary-eyed.
She's crying. They're singing together. She slides it under the door and then leaves. And he asks her if she'll marry him, and the dog barks. And he's excited because that must be a yes. Mm-hmm. And so come sell her. Well, they splash all over the note, so he doesn't know what the note says. He's trying to read it, but it's just too blurry, as he says. You wrote it too blurry. So he's alone again. Let me see where I'm in my notes.
After he realizes what's going on, he goes outside naked because again, he just got out of the bathtub, but he's carrying the dog to hide his special purpose.
Right. Yeah, he's carrying poop head to hide his special purpose, and then picks up the neighbor's dog to hide his backside.
Yep.
Only so we could just turn profile so we could see Steve Martin standing there with dogs covering his. Like, it's a completely unnecessary shot, but
but still funny.
So now he's devastated. He goes to Los Angeles.
Yes.
He wants to get a job, but he's just still trying to find his way.
Yeah.
Come across them Emmett Walsh again. He sees him out the window and he's just smiling. Of course, naturally, David is concerned that this guy's trying to kill me. So he takes off running. Again, one of my favorite scenes of the movie is the chase scene. Emmett Walsh running. If you don't remember it, it's worth going back and watching Emmett Walsh sprint down the alley. Yeah. It's about 2 or 3 seconds, but it's hysterical. But tracks him down. He's now a private investigator, and I have a letter for you from Stan Fox. I request a meeting. Luckily, Stan Fox is in California. So long story short, Stan was able to commercialize that invention that Nave had come up with. It's called the Optograb, and he gives him a check. And he's like, there's more coming. So he gives him a check for 250.
250 big ones.
250 donuts. So he goes to the bank because he's just, in his mind, it's $250.
I like money.
Yeah, he's like, I could really use some money. So he goes to the bank and he wants to cash the cashier's check. And the banker, who at this point, everybody you see now has an Optograb on. Yeah. The banker's got an Optograb on. He's like, you sure you want to cash it? Well, I'll cash the 50 and deposit the 200. They're super excited. He doesn't realize at the time that it's $250,000. His head spins around a la The Exorcist. It's just a dumb sight gag.
And I love the sound effect. It was like very like Flintstones.
Yes, it was like, one of those like, gears that you crank, it's just this weird, almost like one of those noisemakers.
Yeah.
That you whip around. So he's in the paper. We see it like he's all decked out. It just looks ridiculous. Yeah. Like he's driving a new car. He's bought a painting. He still lives in this like cheap apartment. The dog's all decked out. We get a phone call from Marie's mom. She saw his name in the paper. Yes, I'm successful. Oh, you know where Marie is? Well, that's a little high. How about $75? Like she wants it. Like, I'll tell you where she's at for a price. Well, she's working the makeup counter at wherever. So we get a fun little where she's giving a exhibition of this like de-aging skin,
like a
mask
facial sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, Naven shows up and puts the mask on and swaps places with the guy. So when Marie peels it off, he does look 20 years younger. She realizes it's Naven. And then the wife is like, what are you doing with my husband? So Naven and Marie get married. And they just take on this extravagant lifestyle. They are, like she buys him chains all the time. Like it's like
another
Mr.
gold
T.
chain for
another
Mr.
gold chain. They, even when they had the apartment, they hired a live-in butler and maid. And so they've got this mansion, another check rolls in for like $750,000. I love the butler. I can't think of what his name is here.
Hobart? I think it was a Hobart.
Yeah. First scene, again, one of those dark things where, cut to Hobart as he's looking out the window as his wife is being executed by a firing squad. It's like overdrafting or something. And he's like, I'm really sorry for your loss. Hobart goes, federal regulations, like nothing I can do. Gives him, he's like, well, are you still grieving? Like, it just happened. And he's like, are you still grieving? Oh, anything you want, sir. Like,
he's dedicated to his job.
Very dedicated. Fun little bit where, somebody shows up at the door for charity, and, and he's like, Naven, sir, person is here to see you. What's it about? Charity. And he's like, no, absolutely
Send
not.
Them away.
Yeah, there's far more people that need help than me. It's like, no, they're looking for charity. We get this kind of weird, like, video where this man comes in, Father de Cordoba, and he said, in my country, there's this heinous crime of cat juggling, and he shows him this video starring Steve Martin as the cat juggler, and and it's like, we need to stop this. It's like basically their equivalent of dog fighting, or so we need to stop there. Absolutely,
taking up a cause
at no cost, at any cost, whatever. We get a fun scene of his investment advisors, which just to me seem like the mafia,
basically.
Are walking him around, and he has no idea what they're talking about.
No, he's just repeating back what they're saying.
Just repeating the last word they said. One of them then makes a comment about having to get rid of all of the blacks.
Yeah.
They don't call them blacks. It's 1979. That doesn't make it all right, but they don't call them blacks.
Yep, they use the word.
We get a nice wraparound, though, where Naven's like, excuse me? I am a black man. Whips off his robe and then just beats them all up. Except for Iron Balls McGinty.
Iron Groin McGinty.
Kicks him with just this cut to Marie, like, well, how are you supposed to know that was Iron Balls McGinty? They're throwing a big party. That's all they do. They just spend money, surround themselves with people. Well, hits the news, he's got like this interview. So they're all like, everybody quiet down, watch the interview. Well, they cut from the interview to reveal director Carl Reiner,
famous person Carl Reiner,
famous the celebrity Carl Reiner, is filing a lawsuit against Naven Johnson for the Optigrab, because with that little bridge handle sitting there, he's now cross-eyed, and he says, as a director, I use my eyes every day. It's such a stupid comment. Like, oh, well, as a director.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
And so everybody he's suing him for $10 million.
Yeah.
Everybody flees the party. They're all instantly mad at Naven. A couple of them are actually cross-eyed as they're walking out. And so Naven loses the suit because naturally everybody on the jury had an Optigrab and they're all cross-eyed now.
Yeah, the judge too.
Yeah, exactly. So Naven is ordered to pay the $10 million in damages. Cut to him in his mansion with seemingly 3,000 checkbooks as he's handwriting each check to each defendant in the class action lawsuit for like $1.10. And Marie is like, I don't care about any of this. Well, at first she goes, I don't care about the money. I care about the stuff. But ultimately she's like, I care about you, Naven. Like, that's what I care most about. And he's mad and he storms out. I don't need you. I don't need anybody except for this paddleball game and this chair and this lamp and this remote control. It's just another fun little dumb scene. And that's where we get full circle, where he's homeless, in poverty. He's got nothing but his thermos. And we're back to where we were at the beginning. A car pulls up. It's a limousine. Someone hears, you Naven R. Johnson? Yeah. From Mississippi? Yeah. Well, it's his family, including Marie. As soon as he left, go ahead.
I love how he's like, well, I'm just talking to these guys. And he points to the camera.
He pointed at us. And so the family gets out. They're excited to see him. They're all well dressed. You could tell they're very well off.
Yeah.
Marie says, as soon as you left, I called your family. And Taj is like, who'd have thought? Like, Dad's a financial mastermind. Like, he's a wizard with this stuff. And I was like, oh, it wasn't much. I just invested in, blah, 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 blah. And Nathan's like, well, how'd you find me? Or how'd you know I was here? And he goes, I don't know. It's the first place we looked. Like, it's a back alley in LA. It's just a dumb joke. So cut back to Mississippi of like, well, they got a new house. Like, cut scene to just a larger shack on this sharecropped land in Mississippi. And Marie's there and Naven's there and the whole family's there. And he's still out of rhythm, but they're all together and they're all happy. Or no, he does have rhythm this time. Yeah, I forgot. He does have perfect rhythm to the music this time. Yeah. This is where he belongs. These are his people. And that's The Jerk.
That's The Jerk. That's 1979's The Jerk.
There's about 800 jokes that I left out. So go watch the movie.
Yeah. Folks, every week Oz and I give our own rating, or a unique rating, to the film we've been yapping about, in this case, The Jerk. Oz, how would you rate this flick?
I'm giving this 89 paddleball games.
Nice. That's a solid rating.
What are you giving it?
I have several to pick from. I'm going to go with 250 big ones. Some other possibilities were 1 failed astronaut application form, 3 juggled
as his second proof of residence. I have my temporary driver's license
and 1 failed astronaut application.
And the guy's like, okay, good enough.
Yeah. I also have 3 juggled cats and all of the gold chains.
That would have worked.
Or all my possible ratings.
Yeah, I love each time she starts getting him chains, like every time we cut to him, he's got more and more of them on.
Oh, folks, every week Oz and I scour the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well in this week's edition of Outside Insight. Oz, what is your Outside Insight?
I've got 2 very short ones.
Yes.
The first one, both from Letterboxd. The first one is from Sexual Jumanji.
Is there any other kind of Jumanji?
I didn't realize you needed to specify, but this is the Sexual Jumanji. You get this at Adam and Eve's, I think.
Also made by Parker Brothers.
It's still a Milton Bradley game. But it's a 4-star review. He hates cans. This has some all-time funny bits. I laughed a ton. Another movie that changed your uncle's life when he saw it. And the second one is a 5-star review from Joe Rumrell. They swear you in with your hand on a copy of this when you become a goofball.
There you go.
So those are 2 lighthearted outside insights. What do you have, sir?
Mine, as always, comes from the Internet Movie Database, and unfortunately is a 1 out of 10. Left in February of 2024, so just a little over a year ago at the time of this recording, by Arabex Pulpa. Well, that's what we'll go with. Yep. With the subject line, comedy obviously doesn't transcend the ages. If this is hailed as one of the greatest comedies of all time, then cinematic gems like The Zookeeper, Daddy Day Camp, and Police Academy Mission to Moscow ascend to comedy genius. I've now pressed stop, wishing I'd spent the hour either cultivating ringworm or indulging in an undercooked salmonella-infested chicken. I have another 200 characters to fill to allow me to post this review, and whilst I could wax lyric about fungal infections or food poisoning, the plain truth is The Jerk is quite simply not funny, itch or diarrhea included. Yep.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Sorry he didn't live up to his Police Academy Mission to Moscow.
Or Daddy Day Camp.
Exactly.
All right, folks, it is that point of the show you've all been waiting for, the Let's Talk About Flicks signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about this week's movie, The Jerk. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
My first one is the consistency of the joke writing and delivery of the movie.
Yes.
It's an hour and a half long, and there really isn't any parts that I found drag or slow down or, anything like that. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
My second is the Steve Martin, Bernadette Peters beach duet.
Yep. If you weren't going to say it, I was.
I don't think I ever heard that song prior to this movie, and that's the only version of the song that I like to hear is these two singing it. So I just, it's so sweet and so romantic.
It is.
Even even if it ends in a struggle to kiss her as she's fighting him off, and then they finally both give up, just exasperated, and he goes, "Was it good for you?" Like, but these two are meant to be together. Yeah. And my third is the aforementioned M. Emmett Walsh chase scene.
Yeah.
Both of them, not only as the madman, but also as the private investigator that's trying to chase him down in the alleyway. Both of those chase scenes, I just found, you don't see M. Emmett Walsh look like he's having fun very often. And so to watch that was just comical to me. So those are my three goods. What do you have, sir?
Oh, let's go with so many great things from this movie to choose from. I'm going to start with towards the end of the movie as they're at their extravagant mansion. This is just a throwaway bit that I just found hysterical. They're outside in, I don't know if it was, I forget, a garden or playing tennis or something. And they have outdoor red and white wine dispenser jugs, like Hinckley and Schmidt jugs, and you know, like the little paper cup dispensers. They have that, but for wine glasses.
I also love that little sight gag.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. My second is I'm just going to go with the overall. I mentioned it at the beginning, you know, just the overall theme of him trying to find his identity, trying to find his purpose, not his quote unquote special purpose.
No, that's been found for him.
Yes, you beat me to it. Yeah, Patty found that for him.
Yeah,
but it's this sweet, innocent, nice, incredibly naive character who just wants to find out who he is and what makes him him and what his values are. And I don't. There's something special about watching this character try to do that.
Yeah.
And then my final good, let's go with just going back to the beginning, just his favorite meal. He's in this southern Mississippi black family household, and Major, your favorite meal, David: tuna fish salad on white bread with mayo, a tab, and 2 Twinkies.
Which, to be fair, was probably kind of hard to find. It may have been difficult to find that stuff.
Yeah, and just the layers of that joke as well.
Yeah, that there is zero about this man that is African American. Zero, but doesn't matter. Like,
family's family.
Yeah. I saw a TikTok video this morning that actually kind of reminded me of this movie, and it's nothing related. And I sent it to my daughter, and what it was is this kitten, and it wasn't a full-blown cat, but it was an older kitten, but it was raised in a house of dogs. Okay. And this kitten runs up, jumps on the arm of the couch and looks at the owner, and the kitten doesn't meow. It just kind of like bark meows.
Okay.
And it was just cute because that's what it hears the dogs do.
Sure, yeah.
So that's what it does.
That's what its identity was.
And and it made me think of, because I was already done watching, but it made me think of this, because it's like, that's kind of Naven of, hey, I fit in because I'm here. There's nothing about me that makes me fit in, but I'm here, so I fit in. And so I thought it was cute.
That reminds me of I don't know why, but of a movie I probably have not seen in at least 35 years. Howie Mandel in Walk Like a Man.
Oh yeah,
it's like Man Raised by Wolves kind of thing. And
yep. I've seen that. I've seen that movie.
The persona of he's a wolf, and
it's a fun throwaway movie for a 10-year-old.
Sure,
it probably doesn't hold up, but hey,
no,
I like it.
Yeah. So hey, Oz, what are your 2 bads?
Well, I had mentioned my first good of being like the consistency in the joke writing and telling.
Sure.
If there is one, and I'm being very nitpicky.
Yeah.
The one part of the movie that I think slows down just a bit is the cut to video of the cat juggling, the black and white video. It's funny, but it takes us away from Naven Johnson to watch Steve Martin do something else. And so that's my bad there, was just,
I can see that.
It's just for just a brief moment, it's this like alternative setting where none of our characters are at, but yet we still are seeing Steve Martin there. So
yeah, it's like a bit within a bit kind of
thing.
And
it's just and so whatever, again, nitpicky. Because it's, and the thing is, the beauty, it's not too long. Like it's just enough to get the joke across, and then they cut away. So it's not slamming the brakes on. It's just like, well, I got to find something. And the second, and I'm sure you probably have it, well, there's some terms that just don't age well being used.
Yep. I was going to use that one as well.
I will recognize that despite the use of the word, the pre-association of Naven to the connotation of word has been established. So again, I'm not justifying the use of the word.
Yeah.
But he's in defense of that word. Of like, you don't say that. That's me. Those are me. That's me and my family. Like, and so it was nice to see, even though, yes, there was even one is way too many uses of the word. And there was more than one, but it still was, you're dealing with one and fights them down. And so it's like,
yeah,
it again doesn't make it better, but it's as at least the people who were using it derogatorily got their comeuppance.
Sure.
So, but still, don't use that word.
Still, yeah, white people, you don't get to use that.
Yeah,
word.
don't. Yeah, I agree. What do you have for your bads?
For my bads, again, very nitpicky as well, just because this movie is not trying to be anything more than what it is. So my first bad is the movie in some ways it's kind of similar to The Stupids that we covered a couple weeks ago. The movie is kind of like a long sketch more than a movie. So like I felt like The Stupids is something that probably would have worked a little bit better as a series of sketches. I don't feel quite that strongly about The Jerk. I think The Jerk still holds up as a feature length, but it's one that could at least equally have been effective in a series of sketches. And
I can see that. I don't feel The Jerk was quite as outlandish as The Stupids. I mean, there's no aliens, and I agree. I could see that for sure.
Yeah. And then my other one is just the just rich people, like the effect wealth has on people, and Naven, he was still Naven when he had money, but even some of his warts came out, and it's
about the only time in the movie where I would see him as a jerk.
Yeah. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of like in Trading Places, what's the best way to hurt rich people is to make them poor.
Yeah.
So, and we see that in there. So it just, even a character as innocent as Naven is still tainted by wealth. In extreme wealth at that.
Yeah, agreed.
So that's my second bad. Hey, Oz, what's your
I had a really hard time coming up with a good
Okay.
Because again, like the movie, it wasn't trying to answer any questions.
Sure.
So there weren't really any questions. But my is Marie also an idiot? Like,
sure.
I can't quite, like, he was obvious, but I can't quite piece her together, because at first it just seems like, this stupid man, he's so cute, almost not quite pity, but just like, oh, like he's a doofus, and it's sweet, and he's not gonna hurt me because he's not smart enough to hurt me, and but then she also is carrying around a trumpet like all the time. It's like just those little, like,
hey, you never know when you might need a trumpet.
I heard a song on the radio that made me think of The Way We Were. What song was it? The Way We Were. It's just those little things, like there wasn't enough. Like, Bernadette Peters was amazing.
Yes, she was great.
And I left her. I included her in my goods, but she could have been a whole good her own. Yeah. But it's like, that's my question. Is like, what's Marie's story? Like, she's a licensed cosmetologist, so it's like, I want to know
more about Marie.
I just want to know like why he is on her radar. Like, what is it? So that's my
Yeah.
What do you got?
I'm going to share two. I think the second one is what I'll use as my official, My unofficial was, why did it take me so long to really appreciate Steve Martin? I don't know what it was, but like for the longest time, I was passively resistant to Steve Martin, and I don't know why. Like I don't know why it took me so long to really come around and appreciate how funny he is. And
yeah.
That's almost a bad on me in some ways. My real haunt, though, is I kind of referenced this a few minutes ago, right at the end of the movie when he points at the camera. Is Naven omniscient?
Yeah.
Like he's aware he's in a movie.
Yes.
Like he's like the narration, I kind of get like he's talking directly to the audience. This isn't just him, him thinking or narrating. He's talking to the audience, and he recognizes the camera. That there's a fourth wall break or two in there. Like I think Naven might be omniscient.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I don't know what that really makes him. I don't know if he's like lowercase g godlike.
Right. But it is a weird relationship with the audience.
Yeah.
Because like it's those bookends that really bring it to the forefront. But they're very important bookends. Like it's the reason we're there.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah. Is he omniscient?
He's like Deadpool. He's aware he's in a movie.
You go. That's true. Back to the Steve Martin thing. Like I agree. Same thing. I was never like turned off by Steve Martin, but I guess I feel he was never, he was never edgy.
Yeah.
And that may have been it for me growing up. It was consistent, but not really edgy. So there wasn't like that attraction there to, plus he's just always like the dad.
Yeah.
And I think that's just because even in this movie, he's got a head full of gray hair. Like I think he grayed very early and just leaned into it. But it's like, thinking of the stuff that he would have been in growing up, even through the 80s, it was Parenthood, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And then some of those were just like lesser, like The Man with Two Brains. I think that's the name of it. I think Lily Tomlin's in it. My Blue Heaven. He was hilarious in My Blue Heaven. Still has one of the greatest ideas that I've always kind of wanted to put into play to raise money for like the park district, is just 5-gallon jugs where people can drop their change and then just swap them out when they're full.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just had this run where like nothing was like at the top, but it's like I had no interest in Bowfinger when it came out.
Bowfinger.
Like I just didn't. And it's like, because Eddie Murphy wasn't edgy Eddie Murphy at the time.
Yeah.
And what was the really inappropriate Queen Latifah movie?
Was it? Oh, I can't remember.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty cringe.
Yeah.
A lot of things wrong with that movie. In some ways it felt like, let's put Steve Martin in a BET film.
Yeah.
But still make him the hero. Like, nah, shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I think younger me misread Steve Martin as being like inauthentic.
Okay.
I read him as a phony. Like I read him as someone who was insincere. Okay. And again, now that I'm a little older and dare I say just a wee bit wiser, I see past that now. Like I don't know what it was, but I just had this very cynical view, like he wasn't being true. He wasn't being authentic,
right?
In his performances and his stand up. His, whenever he was on SNL, I always read it as like who really is this guy? And that's who he was. And right. I thought he was, putting on a show, and he wasn't. And shame on me for jumping to that conclusion.
Well, and I think he also pivoted and exited straight comedies fairly quick. Like he was like The Jerk, straight comedy. Like Parenthood's not a straight comedy. The Father of the Bride movies are not straight comedy. So it's like they're a little more tender. To where, are they funny? Yeah, there's funny bits, but they didn't really like fit that you knew what you were getting with a Pauly Shore movie. Because they're all the same. You knew what you were, and even like 80s Eddie Murphy was, and it's like I guess he had more talent than some of those guys as a straight actor, and it just felt like, well, even the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles scene at the counter at the rental car, like that stands out because it's like, oh my gosh, Steve Martin is saying the F word, so like, that's just it. It's like, it's so shocking. I would put, and coincidentally, this makes sense, I felt the same way about Martin Short growing up. Of one that I never really gave credit to how funny he is.
Yeah.
Because he always seemed like a sidekick to everybody.
Sure.
Like, what I'd say the one that sticks with me growing up that I watched the most was Inner Space.
Yeah.
But that's a Dennis Quaid, Meg Ryan movie. Martin Short steals that movie if you watch it now.
Well,
like, he's hilarious.
It's these two gorgeous people who are you're more like, Inner Space has some action-y elements to it, but then there's doofus Martin Short.
Right. But he makes that film.
Yeah.
But he's zany, he's slapsticky, but he's also romantic. Like, you watch it now through, like you said, wiser eyes, and you're like, God, that guy's amazing. It's same with him in the Father of the Bride movies. He's absolutely hysterical in those movies. So I feel that way now with Martin Short.
Yeah, agreed. And I had similar takes on him too.
Yeah.
Bringing down the house is what we
there
remember.
It is. Yeah.
My initial thought was Big Mama's house, but
I almost said
that's wrong, and that probably says something about, unfortunately, about me, that's where my mind went. But yes, it's Bringing Down the House.
Bringing Down the House. Yeah, that movie is all sorts of wrong.
Yeah.
All sorts of wrong. But yeah, overall, I agree. Like, I appreciate Steve Martin and Martin Short way more now than I ever did, which is okay. Better late than never. Thankfully for YouTube, you can still watch Jiminy Glick.
Jiminy Glick. Oh, love Jiminy Glick.
I do too. Although that's one that I found I don't want to watch too many consecutively, because you do start to pick up some like similarics.
Yeah, there's some similar bits that he does. Yeah,
and so it's like, I want to space them out. But I've probably watched the one with Bill Hader a dozen times. Just because Bill Hader can't
keep it together.
He can't not crack, and that's the beauty of it. Is he knows what he's in on, and he can't compete.
Yeah, he's just along for the ride, and he's falling off the ride at every turn.
Yeah, and that's what makes it funny. So, we've got one more week of insulting titles.
Yes, yeah. Before we get to, we'll reveal our October 2025 theme, which is going to be a whole lot of fun, especially since it's going to be a 5-weeker.
Yes.
But before we get to that, we will conclude September 2025 and insulting titles with 2006's Idiocracy.
A movie I've seen maybe twice.
And I've seen considerably more times.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember really enjoying it.
Yes.
I do like the movie. It just doesn't come across my radar all that often.
A hysterical movie, a movie that's kind of grown a little more poignant.
Yeah, a little bit.
Here we are in the year 2025. A movie that does have its flaws, mostly from studio interference. Kind of similar to Office Space in some ways.
Why don't people realize, just leave Mike Judge alone?
Just let him cook.
Let him do what he wants to do.
Yeah. You've seen the new King of the Hill episodes?
I've not.
Oh,
I've heard they're great.
So good.
I just struggle being a TV watcher.
Sure.
I always have. I really struggle with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's only 10 episodes.
Okay.
It's so good.
What's it streaming on?
It is on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will make an effort, because I do enjoy King of the Hill, and I've heard that it's very good.
Yeah.
Because you just told me that.
Sources tell me.
Right. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, we'll tackle Idiocracy next week. Luke Wilson, Maya Rudolph, Dax Shepard,
Terry
Crews, President Camacho.
Yeah, very poignant to unfortunately. Yeah, social media wise, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about the numbers. I haven't even looked in a while, but I'm working at a new school, and we're about 3 weeks about 3 weeks into the school year. And I was in a class on Friday. Teacher's like, hey, why don't you come in? I'm talking to the students about, he phrased it love languages, but not, it was a health class.
Yeah.
But it was more just different ways people communicate and how you would rank them. And so, spending time together being one of those. And I had shared that really our podcast was born out of an effort for the two of us to notch out some time each week to hang. What podcast is it? I tell them,
well, yeah, pull up a chair.
teacher writes it on the board. I had a couple of kids stop me later in the day, or like, hey, I saw a podcast. I'm like, cool. He said, what one did he say he watched? He told me, he told me in passing. I don't even know the kid's name, but he's like, hey, found your podcast. I watched it was I watched your Hoosiers episode.
Of all episodes
to start
Hoosiers.
With. Yeah. He goes, I found your podcast. I watched the Hoosiers episode. Oh, I go with my co-host dad. He goes, yeah. So, is that going to lead to, a rocket trajectory to the stratosphere of popularity?
I think so. Yep.
I think so.
We found our core demo. Rural Illinois teenage boys.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah. I'm sure your student is just a big fan of 1950s Indiana basketball.
I think he was.
Yeah.
And dads.
Yeah. And dads. Yeah. And dads talking about 1950s
dads talking about 50s basketball.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool because the kids are like, oh yeah, we'll check it out. And I told them, I don't care if you watched an episode or not. That's not while we make it. And then I go, but make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Yeah. Our Patreon link.
Yeah, exactly. It's down below.
Yeah, it's out there.
But they thought it was cool. They did. They were like, you have a podcast? I said, yeah. How many episodes? I'm like, we just recorded like 202. And they're like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, we've been doing it for quite a while. So they were pretty impressed by the longevity of the show.
Should have told them we got Joe Rogan on next week.
Oh, maybe I will. You guys stay tuned.
Joe Rogan may or may not be making an appearance.
Right. Joey Lawrence's birthday, though.
Whoa.
Oh, my. So, well, for another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, I'm Oz.
I'm Curtis.
And we'll be back next week with Idiocracy.